part 4 of my Shiny Pokemon Opinions videos. Today we are doing all of the 4th generation, including their Mega Evolutions. There are not too many of those this time around though. The 4th generation is also my favorite generation of Pokemon in general, so I am so excited to do this. Again, here's the scale I will be using for the entire video series, so you know how I'm working this all out. At the end, we will tally up the scores and figure out what the average is to see where this generation lies. So far, Generation 1 and 2 have a 3.4, and Generation 3 has a 3.68. We are getting that specific now. It's come to that point, so let's just start at the top with Turtwig. I simply adore the color of teal and green that Turtwig and Grottle get. Grottle's yellow is almost radioactive, but I still like it. Torterra, even if it is my favorite 4th generation starter, does not have a good shiny really. It's just a disappointment, to be honest. I wish it kept the same colors of its original forms, or at least the teal part. So, Grotle and Turtwig both get 4s, while Chimchar is nice enough, but it just doesn't really wow me. However, I think Monferno and Infernape are wonderful. The purple part is just nice, it's great, and I love the subtle change in the red. So, Chimchar gets a 3, and Monferno and Infernape get 4s. Out of the 4th generation starters, the Piplup line has to have my least favorite shinies. They're all just so blue, especially Empoleon. If they had just picked any other color, I probably would like it more. So they all get 3s. I really like the color brown that the entire Starly line changes to. My personal favorite is Staraptor. I wasn't too sure about the blue part on it at first, but now I really like it. So the entire line all gets 4s. Bidoof and Bibarel are both definite 3s. If their noses didn't change colors, I wouldn't be able to tell whether they are shiny or not. I just really love the color gold that Kricketot and Kricketune changed to. They have to be one of my favorite bug Pokemons in general, so for that they both get 4s. I just love Shinx's entire line. I would put my life on the line for Shinx and Luxio, and Luxray just looks awesome. Again, I really love this color of yellow gold they changed to, so they all get 5s. Budew is just adorable and I love it so much. I feel in a similar fashion to Roserade as I do to Rosella. The black and purple roses just look wonderful on it. Though I do wonder how they would both look if their greens changed to a different color. Either way, Budew gets a 4 and Roserade gets a 5. Cranidos and Rampardos both get 4s. The shade of red they changed to is just really cool. It's not one of my favorite shinies really, but it still looks nice. Shieldon gets a 4 and Bastiodon gets a 3. I like the colors on Shieldon way more for some reason, and I don't quite know why. The Burmese and Wormadams barely change, and it's so disappointing. They could have at least changed the body color a bit more obviously, or even better, changed the pink, green, or yellow parts to a completely different color. At least Mothim looks pretty nice, so they got that going for them. All the Burmese and Wormadams get 2s, while Mothim gets a 4. Combee and Vespiquen are alright, but they're not that great, so they get 3s. Pachirisu is adorable and pink, so it gets a 5. Both Weasel and Floatzel get 4s. They are just a nice shade of yellow, and I love it. The Cherubi line is okay. I mean, they're not that great. The best one's probably the closed version of Cherrim, but it's not much better than the others, so they all get 3s. The entire Shellos line barely changes. All of them. I could barely tell they are shiny if you just showed me a sprites by themselves. So they all get 2s. Ambipom gets a 3. I just like Apom so much more than it. Even if they do drag children off to the underworld or wherever, Drifloon and Drifloon are adorable in their colors. So they both get 5s. The entire Baneri line is adorable, but I personally prefer Mega Baneri to the others. You know how I feel about pink shinies though in general, so it's not surprising I would like them. Baneri and Lopunny get 4s, and Mega Lopunny gets a 5. Why did they do this to Miss Magus? This color doesn't look good on Miss Drevis, so it definitely doesn't look good on you. You could be such a beautiful shiny too. Honchkrow is not as good as Murkrow, but it's still a million times better than Miss Magus. So, Miss Majors gets a 1. Honchkrow gets a 3. Glameow and Purugly are okay. At least the colors on Purugly's ears changed from its original form, and that's noticeable. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, don't the colors from its body and its ears just swap? I'm not quite sure, but they do look very similar. Still, they both get 3s. Chingling barely changes, but it is better than Chimeco, so it gets a 2. Stunky and Stunktank are both such nice colors. This is actually the color I hope Shiny Galarian Zigzagoon gets, but we'll see how that goes. So, they both get 4s. These two are okay. I like Bronzong slightly more, but not much. They are both 3s. Bonsley gets a 4, Mime Jr. a 5, and Happiny a 2. Bombsley is an autumnal rock sapling. It's wonderful. I really like it. I love Mime Jr. though. It's such a cute little baby. So cute. Happiny is cute too, but it barely changes, so I can't give it more than a 2. I'd still hunt for it though. Chat Talk gets a 3 and Spiritomb gets a 5. I actually like Chat Talk quite a bit, but I wish the head and the body weren't the same color. It would probably be at least a 4 if they changed that. Spiritomb is wonderful. It's just so wonderful. It reminds me of Ghastly and Coughing Shinies actually, which I also really like. Gibble and Gabite are decent enough, but they're not amazing. Garchomp barely changes. Couldn't it at least have kept colors of one of its earlier forms? Now that I'm looking, I notice her colors are different, and you know how I feel about consistency. At least, Mega Garchomp's color is nice. I really like that shade of purple on it. It reminds me of something. Sharpedo. It reminds me of Sharpedo, which does make sense considering the inspiration. So for this line, Gabite and Gibble get 3s, Garchomp gets a 2, and Mega Garchomp gets a 4. Munchlax barely changes, so it gets a 2. The Lucario line is all great. My favorite is Mega Lucario. Can't quite place why I like it more than the others, but I do. Riolu and Lucario get 4s, and Mega Lucario gets a 5. The entire Hippopotas line is just disappointing, so they all get 2s. Skorupi and Drapion both get 4s. I really like them both, but I wish their eye colors changed. I do like Drapion a little bit more though. Croagunk and Toxicroak both also get 4s. I, obviously by this point, really like teal and purple together. Carvine is just pretty, so it gets a 4. I know Finneon and Lumineon are not the most popular fish Pokemon in the games, but I really like their shinies. I like brown and cream shinies a lot, so they both get 4s. Again, Mentike barely changes, so it's going to get a 2, even if it is really adorable. Snover's entire line just changes the greens to blues, and I think that's boring, so it all gets 3s. Weavile gets a 3, Magnezone gets a 4, and Licky Licky gets a 5. I really wish Weavile kept the same exact colors as Sneasel, but it's still pretty nice. Magnezone is cool, but it does not look quite as nice as its earlier forms. As for Licky Licky, it is beautiful and I will fight you. It's cute. I love it. Leave it alone. Rhyperior gets a 4, Tangrowth and Electivire get 3s. Rhyperior is nice, but it's not one of my favorite Pokemon in general, so I'll still be nice to it though. I don't know why, but Tangrowth just does not look as good as green as Tangela does. As for Electivire, it's pretty meh. It's okay. Magmortar and Yanmega get 3s, and Togekiss gets a 2. I really like Magmortar's colors. Pink and red shinies are just wonderful. Somehow, Togekiss manages to be more disappointing than its earlier forms combined. What a wonderful achievement. Yanmega looks way better than Yanma with that color of blue. I love Leafeon and Glaceon's designs, but their shinies barely change, so they get 2s. Like Gligar, Gliscor looks so much better than I remember. It looks really cool actually. So it gets 4. Mamoswine is disgusting. It should not exist if it's going to be that color, so it's an obvious 1. Porygon Z has to be my least favorite of the Porygon shinies. It just feels like that blue and that purple does not go together. So it's a 3. Gallade and Megalade are nice, but I do not like them as much as Gardevoir, so they both get 4s. Probopass's colors are better than its original colors, but it's still not that nice, so it gets a 3. Dusknoir is okay, but I really wish it kept the red colors from its earlier forms. Obviously Frostlass barely changes, it's a 2. And we have made it to the legendaries and mythicals. Rotom gets a 4, I just really like its color of red, it fits it swimmingly. The Lake Sparrows are pretty decent. I prefer Mesprit to the others because that pink goes way better with the yellow than the other two's colors, but they're also really nice. Uxie and Azelf get 3s, while Mesprit gets a 4. Dialga gets a 3, and Palkia gets a 2. Dialga is decent enough, but it's kind of boring, and Palkia barely changes, so we know what it has to get. I do think it's kind of cute though because it is pink. Heatran gets a 2. It barely changes, and I don't like it. Who thought that color blue was good for Regigigas? That's not even a good color blue for any other Pokemon, to be honest. It's a 1. Both forms of Giratina get 4s. It's one of my favorite shiny legendaries in this generation, actually. It just looks so cool. I love Cresselia, it's so cute, and its shiny is just as cute, so it gets a 5. More Pokemon that barely change. Fione and Manaphy both get 2s. Darkrai is kinda cool, but it's not one of my favorites, so I'm gonna give it a 3. Shaman is just so cute, and it's especially cute in its shiny form. Both forms are pretty much the same, so they get 5s. And last, but definitely not least, Arceus, the god of the Pokemon. He gets a 3. It's just boring, and it's so disappointing considering what Pokemon this is. Now that we have reached the end, let's tally up the score, divide it, and see where this generation lies. Will it pass up the other ones? I have no idea yet. And the final score is 3.1, which makes it the lowest so far, actually. Well, just because it is my favorite generation doesn't mean it has the best shinies. What is your favorite shiny Pokemon in this generation? Mine has to be Drifloon and Driplim. They're just so cute. Tell me in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, there are 3 other parts in this series so far you can go back and watch. As well, you could also subscribe to my channel because I post videos pretty much every day. I'll see you next time, bye!